Hello, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington, USA. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making Christmas tags today and using the tailor-made tag dies. But before we get into the project, little housekeeping to take care of first. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share the YouTube video. It helps me out a great deal in YouTube world. In the description below, you'll find all the product I used and dimensions. You will also find a link to my online store and a link to my Facebook group, which is private. You have to answer 2 questions to join. It's a very small group right now, so please consider joining. We'd like to have more people in there so we can have some fun. And before I finish, also between now and November 30th, if you make a $45 purchase on my online store of Stampin' Up! Product, I'm going to be drawing a winner for this brand new Wonderful World stamp and paper pad. They're not assembled at all, brand new, still in their original packaging. So if you are wanting this particular set and you want to get a chance to get that, you just need to go to my online store. The link is below. Place a $45 order, not including tax and shipping, and you will be entered into the drawing. The drawing will happen on December 1st, and the party that wins will be notified, and then shortly thereafter we will announce it publicly. So with that being said, let's move on to the project. This video may run a little longer. I'm sorry, but I have lots of things to show you. So I decided to go with one tag for this project. All the tags are great, but I decided to use this tag here, which is the rounded corner one, the largest rounded corner. And I've already cut out most of the tags. We may have to cut out one. I'm not sure yet. I don't remember. And I'm not going to show you all the different tags, and some have quite a wow factor. But we will just start at the beginning with the first tag. And the first tag is this one that we're going to be making. I'll hold that up. It's got a little silver cap, and on the back it's a to and from, a little candy cane. Now these are double-sided. I liked the thicker tag. Plus, I wanted the stitching to look nice and stitched on both sides. And if you don't mind the stitching, you could do this as single layers if you choose. So I should show you the stamp sets we're going to be using for these. We are going to be using Cottage Wreath, and we're going to be using the Merry Christmas out of Cottage Wreath because I wanted one that's small and could fit at the bottom of my cards or my tags. We are going to be using Spruced Up, and we're going to use several elements out of this. We are using the candy cane, the to and from. We're using dies to cut the little hangers. We're going to be using several dies out of this set. We're also going to be using Penguin Place, the Penguin Punch. And then at the end of the video, I have a whole bunch of other tags. I will explain what I used to make them, but I'm not going to be demoing those. So let's move on with the fun. So this one is a stamped tag. I've got all my little pieces here. And like I said, I already cut out a basic white, my 2 basic tags. This red ribbon is from a retired set. This is from the Playful Pets combo trim. I am using a little bit of this because I wanted a narrow red ribbon and I had a lot of this left. So check your stash. I mean, if you have, whatever works for you, because a narrow ribbon is necessary. We're also going to be using baker's twine on several of these as well. So whatever you have, use it. If you need new narrow ribbon or baker's twine, you can place that order on my online store. So we'll set that aside. And then I've also got a piece of, why do I have a base? I don't remember why I have a piece of base. Oh, to stamp on. We got a stamp. It's early. I'll have some more coffee if you don't mind. We're going to get my stamping mat out. Oh, and look, I put new pads, new covers on my stamping mats. We're first going to stamp with Real Red. And we're going to use this beautiful stamp here. Make sure we got it good and covered. Just like that. Ooh, I like how it got dark, a little darker on one side than the other. That's pretty. Sometimes those little but not happy accidents like this. Just one moment. You're not supposed to put your fingers in the ink pads. I just grabbed a little cleaner to clean my fingers off, so just a moment. That's terrible of me, isn't it? But see, these things happen to everybody, not just you. So, anyhow, now that we'll close that, I like sometimes when the shading, I pressed a little harder on one side of this, so it's lighter on this side, but that's okay, I like it. So now we need to do some die cutting. Oh, let's go ahead and let's just do this right now. Let's pull this open. I should have done this first. Let's go ahead and stamp our items. We got the candy cane, we have our little saying, and our to and from. Since I already have the red out and I'm already making a red mess, I'm going to put the Merry Christmas here at the bottom. And on this one, make sure your tags are going the right, the stitching is the right direction. We're going to put a little to from. And the candy cane right there. I'll tell you, I inked this last night and it is extremely juicy. So bear with me for just one moment. I need to get some of this red ink off of the blocks. Like I said, we're going to have this back out again, but I really got it. I think I got a little overly wet last night when I re-inked. So I'm using the sand and scrub off to the side. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and set these aside because we need to cut a few elements out. And the Shaded Spruce dies are really quite cool. And you're going to see why in just a second. So we're going to put this on here. I'm going to grab a little Post-it. And grab the die that looks like that. Put that around. Oop. That Post-it doesn't have any sticky on it. And if you notice the hanger's off the page, it doesn't matter because we're going to cut the hanger off. And I guess I'm doing this left-handed today because I put it over here the wrong direction. We'll turn it around for the next one. Okay, so there's this cutout. But what it also does, and you're going to need your take your pick tool or some pokey tool to get into the dies, it also cuts out a frame. But I don't want the white frame, I want a red frame. So I am going to turn around and die cut this again with some real red. Well, I wasn't going to take and put that on with a Post-it, but I guess I will if I'm going to knock it all over the place. So now we have a red cutout, but we're not going to use that. Now you could turn around and make another card with this, or another tag, which would be great. I'm not going to because I'm going to show you a different one similar to this, but really stepped up. So let me get some of this paper out of the way. take our ring out. And we need to cut one more thing, is we need to cut the little top to our ornament. And there's a little teeny top in there. And I've just taken a little bit of silver foil paper. Set that on there. And cut that out. And there it is. This one's a pretty fast one. You could mass produce this one very easily. So let me set that. I'll save that little piece of silver because I have to make some more tags besides these. Get another hook out of that one. So we'll get this out of our way for just a moment. And we will assemble. So the first thing we're going to do is bring our candy cane tag back in here. And we're going to need glue. We're going to need a silicone mat. And the first thing we're going to do is surgery. And we're going to take the top straight off. Oop, I didn't get it too straight. Straight off of that. Because we're going to put the silver one on instead. So in the middle of this, we need to put this first. And then we're going to put this around it. So this part's pretty easy. Make sure you leave enough room at the top. Now this one here, you need to dot around. You don't need a lot, but you need to go around here and get enough on here it is going to hold. So you can do it several ways. You could do it this way, and I'll show you another way in a minute. If you looked, I found my large tweezers. It's amazing how things disappear and reappear when you're not expecting it. Start at the bottom, make sure your center's lined up, and just sort of take and push that right back into place, right next to your main ornament. Just like that. That's the extent of it. And then this you can glue on as well. Just like that. Like I said, this was a pretty easy one. Then I'm going to just turn this over and put glue on the back of this, making sure I'm not going over the stitching area. And then line up all the little pieces. And this is pretty easy to line up. Make sure your hole is lined up. Glue, you could use tape. Glue does give you a little bit of wiggle room if you're out of, not quite lined up. And then we're going to take our piece of well, that being said, I showed you the piece of red ribbon and it grew legs all of a sudden off my desk. So guess what? We'll just trim another one. And I used about 9 inches, 8 or 9 inches. It's whatever you want. Now, if you wanted to hang these really and you needed a longer piece, you could use whatever size you needed. Fold it in half. Start at the back. And I usually just use my little pokey tool, something sharp. Just to, you could also use, if it's thick enough, you could also use your scoring tool. Just push it through. And pull it through. Well, supposedly like this. Not one of my better mornings. So that's our tag. This is the easy, like I said, this was a real easy tag. So now I have 2. So let me show you the next one we're going to make. Let me get this out of my way. Now I'll find the red tag, the red ribbon in here in a minute. The next one, we're going to step the same tag up. And I'm going to show you what we're making, but we're not making the same color either. With minimal cutting, we're going to make 3 tags. I'm using Glimmer paper on this and DSP. So that's 1. There's 2. And this one's 3. And on the back, they're 2 in front, and they all have a red candy cane. So this one we're going to do with Shaded Spruce and gold. So I've done a lot of die cutting to help speed this up a little bit. So we have 2 gold hangers there. There should be more. Now I've already cut out 1 ornament, and there's a snowflake die, which I failed to get out, but I will do in a moment, that cuts out this part. It also cuts out this part. So that was 1 cut pass through the machine. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. This is my gold one, same thing. There's my other piece. These are our backings. Hang on, I'm missing 1 piece of gold. Oh, it's right there. It's hooked to the other piece. They're right there. And that's a pass through. So we're gonna cut 1 more out of the Shaded Spruce. And this is gonna be the front, is the plaid. But you could use the polka dots if you want. I mean, you could use any color you wanted, but I just thought it would be fun. And in the Spruced Up set, there is a snowflake. There's this large snowflake here, and there is a die to cut it, and I was supposed to get this die out. I'm not using the snowflake, but I am using the die. So we're gonna put that on here. We're gonna grab our big, you see that okay, and get over that a little bit. And then we're gonna grab our snowflake. And I wanted to make sure all my snowflakes were pointed in the same direction, up and down. Like that. And I am gonna grab this, hold here, and I'm gonna put that right across all the pieces just to hold it in place. So you're gonna make 3 passes with this particular, I put the sandwich together properly. You're gonna make 3 passes with 3 different colors of paper, or Glimmer paper, or DSP, whatever you choose to do. And you will get 3 different looks of tags. So let's pull these out of here. There's our, and the inside. And well, it doesn't want to come loose. There we go. And the outside, which that plaid looks really cool when it's die cut in a small piece. So the first thing I did is put all my dies back in the bowl so I don't lose them. And I'm going to set my tops off to the side so we don't get away. And I'm just sort of clearing a little area. So what I did was I started with each of the pieces. So I'm going to make 3. So I know I have that gold trim. I'm going to do this gold trim and 1 in solid Shaded Spruce. And then I sort of just looked around and decided what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this one here. And I just play around until I get the look I want. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's put this one here and this one here. Can't have 2 colors next to each other. So I've got gold in that one, so let's put gold in this one. Let's put gold in that one. A little Shaded Spruce there. Oh, I can't do that because that's the same as I had there. You just play around with this until you get the combination you want. I'm going to go that one there, this one here, that one here, but I want gold in both of them. So there we go. That's the combination I'm going to use. They're all going to have a different look, but I found it easier to lay them out and make sure that I didn't duplicate too many pieces in the same color group. I don't know what you want to call it. Each color is spread out. And yes, so this has two of it, this has two, this has two, but they're spaced apart. That's what I wanted to say. So we're going to set these aside here. And then I'm going to grab my pieces. Now I know that I made enough of these. I sat one day and cut these out. And also I will, in the direction below, I will tell you now if I remember. I wrote it down here. I did. Out of an 8.5 sheet of paper, this large tag, this particular one, you can get a total of 10 tags out of one sheet of paper. You will cut the sheet of paper in half at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side, and then you will cut 2-inch swatches along the long sides this way, and then you will die cut each piece out. So you can get like I said, 10 out of one sheet of paper. So, but I will make sure that all those dimensions and stuff are going to be in the description below. I sat there trying to figure out the best way to use my paper and to figure it out. There is a website, I can't remember, it's die cut something, that actually will take and tell you, and I'll try to find a link and put that in the description bar below. But it will tell you if you got, needing 9 pieces of a certain size and you got an 8.5 piece of paper, what's the best way to cut it to get the most pieces out. It's a very helpful little free app you can put on your phone or whatever. So let's get our shaded spruce. Lori will try to keep her fingers out of it this time. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and do all my stamping. I start working and things get thrown all over the place. So we're going to stamp the Merry Christmas first on all of these. Right at the bottom. Just like that. And then we still need shaded. We're done with stamping those 3. Then we need 3 more for our backs. Like I said, I threw a couple in extra just in case I messed up. I would never do that, would I? We're going to put our to and from in shaded spruce. Like I said, if you're doing a lot of all of one kind, this goes really fast. And then we need our real red. As I said, the candy cane is, I'm going to try to not get too all over the place with this. Oh, I didn't do a very good job on that. I'll give it to my sister. Let's try this again. There, I matched. Thank God for photopolymer. She knows I'm not perfect, so that's okay. So we've got our stamping done. Now we're going to do our gluing. Like I said, once you get these going, they go really fast. This time we're going to lay this down first. Little glue. And now we need to do the outside, so we'll clip. I'm just taking this off to the side and doing a little clipping. I'll do it here. Flip that over. Now this time I'm going to do the other technique for putting your glue on. I'm going to put a little puddle of glue right here. Use a toothpick, or I think these are dental picks. I'm not sure. I have a whole box of them. I don't even know where I got them. But I discovered them the other day and they work very well for putting glue on narrow pieces of paper. Now, if you have the VersaFine mark or ink, or I think it's called Versa or Line, the glue that's with the fine tip, that would work really nice on this too. I have to get a new one. Mine, I went to use it the other day when I was designing these and discovered that mine is so clogged up I can't get it unclogged. So I'll just give me a new bottle. And then I'll use the glue out of it. And I'm going to just put a little glue on this. Put that on the top. There. Now we're going to put this piece in. This piece has to go in before the next piece. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to put a little bit. It doesn't have to go in all of them, you know, every other one or so. Just so it's enough to hold it down. It's not like these are going to be totally abused things. They're tags for packages. You could use them on as a front of a card too. And line that up right in the hole. Like that. And finally, our gold piece. What's nice is the star shape is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. There's no fitting it. And if you can hear the wee little cries of a kitten, I'm sorry. As I mentioned last week, I have 2 new kittens. They're 8 weeks old and very mischievous and not well to be in the room when I'm crafting, so especially filming. So we have set them outside and they're not happy. When they are well behaved, I will bring them in and introduce them to everybody. So this one, we're going to go ahead and cut the top off that one and put this one in. Go ahead and give me a little bit more glue. When you're done, after this glue dries, you can just peel it right off. You can do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the bottle. Just remember, you're doing the bottle. I know you guys can't see it. Be very gentle. Don't go heavy-handed with the glue. Once again, coming around, lining up the bottom, and you just hugging the ornament. I love this set. This set is so much fun. Grab another top. These are the type of thing you just sit down and put a nice Christmas movie on, or something else, whatever you like to watch. Get you a nice cup of hot tea or coffee or your favorite beverage, and just sit and put your tags together. But like I said, once you get, I just sat down and I cut up, I think I cut up 4 sheets of, so it gave me 40 tags. So that's 20 tags because I'm using front and back. And I did do some in other colors, and I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. But, like I said, once you get the basic cutting out done, you don't have to use this. You could use the square one too. I tend to like that round. I think it looks rather nice. There's 2 of them. And here's the next one. We'll put this one off. I love this gold glimmer paper. Yeah, I was going to do red and white, but my package, when I was prepping this the other day, my package had not come from Stampin' Up yet. And it finally did come, but I already decided on the gold, so I decided not to change my mind. But my white and red glimmer papers showed up because I had ran out. But you do know this is the time of year, if you want Glimmer paper to last you throughout the year, this is really the time to buy it. Because you got all the good colors this time of year. And just because it's not current in the catalog doesn't mean you can't use it. I have some older, you know, when I ran out and stuff, I've used older stock, or sometimes, you know, if you're just looking for a particular color or style. It may not be in the current catalog, but you bought it because you knew you liked it back at Christmas time. And here, oh, I didn't put the top on yet. And this one, since I've got stripes going, I'm going to put my stripes in about like that for my little bit of plaid. Oh, I think there's more glue on my fingers right now than there is in the tag. So just one moment, let me get a little glue off. As I said in the past, I keep a thing of hand sanitizer next to me for when I get too much glue and stuff on my fingers. It's great. So we'll set that off to the side. Now we need to grab our backs. Like I said, this is the type of job to just sit and design these. I actually sat in the living room designing these, watching, what were we watching? We were watching old movies. Can't remember the name of the movie. It's about this old black and white movies with a detective. I can't remember her name. The actress' name was Myrna Loy. But I can't remember the name of the movie or the detective guy. It'll come to me later. Anyhow, it's old. There's a series of them. He's a detective. Anyhow, my mother likes old movies, and so do I. And it was last Friday afternoon when I was designing these, and it was raining, cats and dogs literally outside. It was just pouring. And the wind was blowing about 50 miles an hour, and it was a day to stay inside. So I designed these tags and watched old movies and let the wind and stuff do its thing outside. So, like I said, making tags is something to do to relax. Okay. So there's those. Now, on this one, I used baker's twine. And our baker's twine comes like this now in the essential pack. I have like 4 spools of old baker's twine, white. I'm using my baker's twine up because I can and I need to. So if you've got old ribbon, or, you know, and it's like, I never use this ribbon, but if it's narrow ribbon or twine, and it might work perfect for what you're making. Tags should be made with small bits of paper. I did not, other than the base, I did not hack into any large piece of paper. These were all scrap pieces of paper that I have in my drawer. Because I keep anything that's bigger than probably 2 by 2. So just cut it 9 inches, fold in half, just go in here and pull. Okay. Pull or push, whatever you want. And pull that through. There's one. This is probably the most time-consuming part, is putting the ribbon or the tag thread through on your tag. I have to tell you, ribbon is easier than baker's twine, but the baker's twine, for my purposes, worked really well. I don't want big, bulky ribbon on the top of these. I want them just to be small, slender ribbons. Oop. Made a little mess there. Just pull it like that. If you separate the threads a little bit, just pull it and it'll come right back. Okay, so there is the green ones. Now I was bringing these back to show you the difference of the look. And this is Orchid Oasis and the Ivory Glimmer paper. Total different look, same ornament. Just swapped them around. So we're going to move on to the next one. I know your time is valuable, and I told you this was going to be a little longer video. But I didn't want to do 2 tag videos, and so I opted this was going to be a little longer. We are going to make a little penguin video card now. This penguin's on some buffalo check, and I'm going to show you how I made my buffalo check, because we don't have any buffalo check paper. And once again, but this one, I couldn't stamp the Merry Christmas on the front, so I put the Merry Christmas on the back, and I used that Perfect Pets or Playful Pets ribbon again on the top of that to give that look. So I have one white one, but I do not have this piece because we're going to make the buffalo check. This is part of the Gingham Cottage paper, which you guys are all familiar with. This the grabbing some scrap paper. This is the package I say that never will end. I'm still working with it, and it's still never ending. And we are going to grab Cherry Cobbler ink. You could use Real Red. It won't be as dark. And you're going to go all over this. And I'm going actually directly on it because I want this dark. Now this piece of paper is 4 1/4 by 2 inches because that's the dimension I told you needed to cut these. Oop. And since this is DSP, even if you are only doing one-sided tags, you would definitely need to put a back on this to have some stability. I can't even talk. So I'm going to close that up. Even though this is Cherry Cobbler, I'm going to set that there for a second. I'm going to still stamp my back of my tag with Real Red, and since we're doing ink here, but I do need to clean off. Stamp and scrub. You guys have seen me use this before. I just used green, so I have to. This was red, but it's a little messy, so I'll have to clean the green off. But you can make these any color you wanted. That's what's fun about this, is you do what you want. Grab my mat back here. I'm letting this give this a second to dry before we cut it out. And I'm going to put my little candy cane there. This is my to and from. I'm just coming down a little lower because this time I'm going to put the Merry Christmas on the back. There's the stamping on that. And while we're waiting, like I said, this DSP takes a second to dry, and I want to make sure the ink's not going all over. So while we're waiting, we're going to build our penguin. And you've all seen me build a penguin, but I'm going to do it one more time for you. You take your punch and open it up, and you're going to take out the small white one here on this side. There's the inside of his body. We'll put the black over on this side. Get that out of my way. And then I just got some pumpkin pie here. And I want to cut, just sticking at the bottom here. There's 1 foot. 2 feet. I still have room to cut some more penguins out of that. So that's nice because I'm not, like I said, I'm not done making tags yet. So we're just going to go ahead and assemble him real quick, and then we'll die cut the rest. Gotta go ahead and glue his body on real quick. Oop, I want to do it this side. I think there's a right and wrong side. When you punch, that leaves an edge, the rolled edge, and I like that to be on the bottom. It's not a major rolled edge, it's just, you can feel it. And we'll put his little feet on here. And you could use glue dots on his feet if you didn't want to fiddle with the glue. Or you do this way. Just put your glue on the penguin. Now I thought about making some gnome ones. You could do gnomes on these too. They'd be very cute. And let's give him a little bit of a face. We're doing buffalo check. I think he needs a different color bow. I did red on the last one, but I think I'm going to make his bow shaded spruce this time. He needed to be a little different. That's what's nice too. And you can coordinate, you know, if you're making your own bags and stuff, use your scraps from your bags to make your tags. Can't even finish my sentence. And then we got the eyes. Just like that. Some pumpkin pie for his nose. Well, our penguin's done. The back's done. Now we just need to cut the front or the tag so he can. And I left everything out. I forgot to leave the tag out. There he is. Okay. We're going to take this. We're going to take our tag. As I said, 2 inches, just enough to cut the tag out. 2 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to grab a Post-it. Yes, I'm using large Post-its because I discovered I have 2 boxes of large Post-its, but no small Post-its left. And it will have to wait until I go to the big box store next time. Because, you know, go to the big box store and spend less money on the Post-its than you do other places. So there is our buffalo check tag. Let me get some of this out of my way. My space just slowly gets smaller and smaller as we go. I'm going to go ahead and attach this. You could do it tags with this larger size if you wanted. I just thought it was a little large of a check for such a small penguin. Layer this over the white. Like I said, this is where the glue really helps because you have a little bit of wiggle room. You know that scientific word we all use, wiggle room. And then I used this one. I used the other Playful Pets just because I had it. And my scissors went AWOL again. Like I said, I'm sure all of you have little threads and stuff you want to use up and stuff. Or buy new. You know, it's whatever, but I do use, especially on stuff like this, I use what I have available. And this one, I decided to take my little turkey penguin there and pop him on a couple dimensionals. something just a little different. So this is the one I was thinking, the style I was thinking about, the gnomes, but I didn't. So anyhow, we have the 3 styles of cards now. But I want to show you before we leave some other ones. Now, over the last few months, I've done a lot of cards. And you guys know I have cut trees and all kinds of different embellishments and stuff over time and kept them because I said I'll eventually use them. This is the project when you really do use them. Now I'm going to show you some examples. This one is the snowman. I had already had a couple snowmen in the thing and already had the little hats and stuff. The hats actually are not from the snowman, they're from the penguin, but I put them together. I did a little blending at the bottom, snowflakes, my to and from, my thing, and there's a tag done. I already had the arms. There were some extra arms I had done on this one, so I had all the pieces. I just had to put it together. So then I decided I was going to use some other pieces. So what I did on these, they're all stamped on the back the same, Merry Christmas to and from, in the candy cane. This is another snowman I had. I didn't have arms for him, but I wanted him to have arms, so I cut out a pair of arms. Not a big deal. And I also cut out a red hat and a red bow tie for him because he's going to be very formal. This is the, I write down that with this, Lights Aglow. This is Lights Aglow paper. I cut up 1 sheet of Lights Aglow. You can get 4 tags out of one sheet of Lights Aglow, by the way, because it's 3 across and then 1 up at the top. So I used one of my trees I had in my supply here, a snowman I had in the supply, and made that little twin. This one, I used 2 trees out of my supply. These are from Tree Lot. I had made lots of different colors when I was doing a project, and so we're using Tree Lot. This is a bunny from Tree Lot. No, this one is from Snowman, the little bunny. He was originally stamped, I believe, in crumb cake, and I just put a little pink in his ear just to make it stand out a little bit. This one, if you watched my video last week, I used Merriest Moments, and I had extra pieces left. So I took those, put them up on dimensionals, and made a tag from that. If you save, when you're doing something and you have extra pieces, put them in a little packet, a little container, something to save them. Especially if it's Christmas, because then all of a sudden you sit there, oh, like, okay, I need some tags. Whoop, and you just got the tags done very quickly. So, with all that being said, that's all I'm showing you today. So let me show you all the tags out here. There's the green ones we made. I'll go ahead and set these down here. These are the ones I made prior. And here's our red one. So there's a lot of tags out there, but I'm hoping this gives you some ideas on how to use it. Use the stamps that you have. Look at what you've already possibly done, because if you made something where you cut out a bunch of snowmen, you may have some extra snowmen. You may have a couple extra penguins. The hats and stuff between the penguins and the snowman do go back and forth very nicely. So, look at what you have and make the tags, and I hope you enjoy this video. Have a wonderful Monday, and remember to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget about my offer by November 30th to win a free stamp set and a pack of paper. So, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.